Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a sister like you, Alhamdulillah, here today just to talk about some things I wish I knew before my first Umrah, and inshallah share them with you so that you can know what I wish I knew. So it'll be things I wish I did differently, some general tips, and some details that I didn't hear in other vlogs that maybe will help you, inshallah. So I'll go step by step, but if you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is in the description below. Inshallah, so bismillah. But the first thing before even going on Umrah, like just make the intention to go. If you make that intention sincerely, maybe pray to Hajjud about it, Allah will make a way for you. And like, Wallahi, it is transformational. May Allah invite us all again and again for Umrah and Hajj, inshallah. Bismillah. But if you already have plans to go, Alhamdulillah, I'm so excited for you. But before you leave, there's a lot of stress. I know for me, I was pretty stressed about like the visa stuff because it was just very unfamiliar. But wallahi, I definitely recommend getting a visa on arrival, is what it's called. So it's the cheapest, it's the easiest. Better than the online options. It was immediate and there was like no delay. Like some of the online ones were saying it was like $185 and they would process it within a week. And wallahi, at the little kiosk, once you get off in Jeddah, it took like 10 minutes, a lot less questions, so much easier than the online platforms, and it was 85 total, so it was cheaper. So if I were to go again, I would definitely say do visa on arrival, go to the little kiosk, take 10 minutes, and wallahi, like super easy, alhamdulillah. No waiting, no anything like that. No stress about like, oh, will it come in time? So visa on arrival. That's my first tip. Next, you might also in your research run into like the Nusuk platform. It says like make an appointment for Umrah, make an appointment to go to masjids in Medina and stuff like that. But here's the thing, you cannot complete your profile on the Nusuk unless you have your visa number. But the thing is, for Umrah, like I don't think they're using it anymore because like when I went for Umrah this time, there was no signs about Nusuk, no one pulled out their phones, no one was checking anything. Like you literally just walk through any of the little gates and there was nothing about like the Nusuk. I think it was maybe more for COVID times that they used it for Umrah. Um, but for the masjids in Medina, it's definitely a different story. They're pretty strict about like your 15-minute appointments and getting there on time and stuff like that. So just so you know, don't be too concerned about it for Umrah, but if you are planning to go to Medina and the masjid's there, maybe get your visa, log on to the Nusuk app, and try to make an appointment that'll work for you, inshallah. So for packing, you may have heard this before, but make sure to pack scissors to cut your hair. But little tiny scissors. I thought my scissors were small enough. They're like this big, but they took them in Turkey, unfortunately. But that's okay. Alhamdulillah, they had them at the hotel. But just think about like little scissors. Also pack cold and flu medicines and Advil because it's super likely with all the people and the travel that you'll get sick. I got sick. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. But yeah, just be aware. Pack it so that you have it. They have the things there for sure, but it's just a little bit overpriced and maybe they won't have the one that works for you. Also, another thing is that outlets there are different, but most little supermarkets that you walk through get it. But just so you know, if you get there late with a dead phone and get to your hotel and want to charge it, won't work. So make sure to stop by and get one of those little chargers first. For traveling, I got my flight on Turkish Airlines. I would definitely fly with them again, inshallah. It was reasonably priced. They give out whole meals, good little food. They had these little bags as a giveaway, which had like little stuff in it, which was so amazing, mashallah. I so appreciated that little bag throughout the whole trip. And they also gave like really flat little portable prayer mats. So may Allah bless whoever decided that the passengers would get that. Alhamdulillah, it was just, so wonderful to have. But anyway, so Turkish Airlines, I would definitely go with them again. And I flew into Jeddah. But anyway, if I were to pack and travel again, what I would do is only bring one backpack. So what I did this time, I brought one backpack and shared a luggage with the person I was traveling with. But if you just bring one backpack and then get a luggage there, to fill with stuff that you want to bring back, I think that would allow for a lot more mobility on that first day and also through the airport and also between Mecca and Medina. And then you won't have to worry about your stuff in the hotel, and you could just keep that backpack with you as you go around like Medina and then check out of the hotel. Still have your one backpack, can still see things, go on the train, and then, get to Mecca, inshallah. So I recommend packing like really, really light, just essentials. Not even that much clothes because, mashallah, there are so many beautiful dresses to buy there. And there's like perfumes and permats, and mashallah, like you will like not have to buy them or bring them any clothes because there's so many beautiful clothes there, more beautiful than like any of the clothes that I've seen here. Um, and it's likely that if you pack a lot of stuff, like a whole permat and stuff like that, you might not even use all the things you pack. But anyway, that's just my recommendation for packing. But after the flight, and when you get into Jeddah, you'll have a choice of like how you want to go to Mecca or Medina. There's buses and cars and taxis and trains. I recommend the bullet train by far. It's super fast, super quick, and there's this like train station, like customer service desk, like right after you get off in Jeddah. And I definitely recommend like going there and getting all your train tickets for the whole trip. What happened to me is I just got the train ticket that I needed at that time, and then I came back later to go from Mecca to Medina, and they were all out of train tickets. And it was so unfortunate because they're online. There was advertised that a train would leave at 4 a.m. So we got there at 3:30. And the person said that, oh, that's like not actually an option for trains anymore. That train does not exist. There's one at 6 a.m., but it's sold out. The next one is at 11. And at this point, it was 3:30 in the morning, and there's not one for till 11. So that was kind of a bummer. So if we got the tickets ahead of time in person with that first interaction at the airport with the kiosk person, that would have been better because like we would not have interacted with the online representation, which was inaccurate, and gotten a real ticket at a better time. That would have worked out. But alhamdulillah, it was the way it was meant to be. But just that's what I learned. So don't go after my mistake and get all your train tickets at once, inshallah. And then you won't have to worry about like if there's still seats available or if it actually is going at that time. But when you're getting off the plane and you go to those train tickets, I would highly recommend going to Medina first and then Mecca. I would do this for multiple reasons. First, it would allow you to make your intention and get into Ihram in Medina in a more intentional way, and then go to Mecca after. Like maybe you can sleep after the long travel, see some masjids, and then get ready for Umrah in an intentional way. For me, when I was planning, I was just so excited to just go and do Umrah. And so we traveled, and the travel time was like 27 hours total. And then, like, we were in Ihram, and it was just like, I got into Ihram in a rushed layover in Turkey, and it was really hard to like do the tarbiyah all the way through the airport and then to the hotel to dress this stuff off and then be tired and then do Umrah. It was like, if I could do it again, I would not choose to do it that way, just because I feel like if I went to Medina first, got into Ihram there, saw things, it would be a little bit more intentional in doing like the tarbiyah and stuff like that. But it's okay. If you miss your intention, or if you like sleep through the miqat point on the plane, or something happens, or you want to do Umrah again after doing it once, there's an option to go to like the closest miqat point to the Kaaba. It's called Masjid Aisha, where she got into Ihram. Peace be upon her, or may Allah be pleased with her. But like it's a masjid that's you just take a taxi. It's like 13 minutes away from the actual Kaaba, and you can go to Masjid Aisha, change into Ihram there, and then come back and do like another Umrah, or like have that be the way that you're gonna do your intention and get into Ihram. So I wish I knew that as well. But next, for if I could go back, I would have definitely stayed at the same hotel. I stayed at Al Kiswa Hotel, and it was very, very well kept. It was reasonably priced, and it was like 30-minute walk from the Kaaba in Mecca. Mashallah, it was very beautiful, and there's lots of stuff around, and there's buses that go between the Kaaba and the hotel. So that was really beautiful. But as you're walking around, just know, like even as soon as you get off the plane, there's going to be a lot of pushy taxi drivers all over, and they definitely like to overcharge people that speak English. Like there was one time there was the taxi screen, it said 25 rial, and the guy was like, no, you owe me 100 rial. 100. And I was like, okay, but the screen says 25. And he's like, yeah, but it's like two passengers and it's night, which it said on his screen, but we were just like, I don't know, it's just be aware. I would not recommend in getting into like the taxis that aren't actually taxis, like they're just regular cars, because then they can charge you whatever you want. Like there's this one guy that like was trying to charge us 200 for what should have been like 40 real max. And additionally, I think it's like if you say you're American and speak English, they charge you more for your clothes as well, because everything is like with haggling and stuff like that. For me, I just said my ethnicity, which is Hispanic, instead. And I noticed that when they were like, "Oh, where are you from?" and I just said Hispanic, which is true, I am Hispanic, alhamdulillah. But they charged me less, so just something to think about. Um, in Mecca, um, there is all these little grocery stores and shops that you can go to as well. So for food, sometimes I went during Ramadan, mashallah, the lines for food were quite long, but alhamdulillah, the hotel had really good food. And there's always little supermarkets that you could go to. They have this extra fizz Pepsi that was, mashallah, it was amazing. So highly recommend the extra fizzy Pepsi. Um, but as for actual Umrah, what's actually most important, it was so, so beautiful. I highly recommend doing it at night. Nothing beats the lights in the Kaaba. Um, Maybe the last third of the night, for the most reward, and inshallah. It's also like a little bit less crowded and less hot. But if you're worried about it being like super crowded when you're there, what you can do is you can go to YouTube and check the live stream of the Kaaba and Masjid al Haram and see how busy it is and how many gaps there are. Mashallah, because sometimes there's more gaps than others. But it was such a beautiful experience, and I really did not expect to like now how unreal life feels after Umrah. Like I have been wanting to go back ever since I got on the plane. I'm genuinely a little bit sad to be home and longing to go back because like it is the closest I have ever felt to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and like I don't know, it was just a beautiful experience. I've been watching the live stream of the Kaaba, but anyway, if you're more interested in the spiritual side of Umrah, I'm gonna do a video about that inshallah as well. But I hope this was helpful for any of you planning a trip or thinking about it. Just let me know if you have any questions. But love you all for the sake of Allah, subhanallah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah wa barakatuh.